Hey, diys-by-dar, something's fishy. This is the pet edition of a challenge, and I will put the playlist in the description. Join all of us really awesome artists. Here's my pet. This is my dog Dot. She is a Basenji, also known as the barkless dog or the dog of the Congo. So my dog does not bark. She does have vocal cords and she can make some pretty loud noises at times, but relatively pretty quiet. She thinks she is a person. She is a pack dog. So this is her bed. My bed. Here are my fish. I like to watch my fish. I like fish, if you guys didn't already know that. I have a lot of fish-themed things because I really like fish. They're very calming, fun to look at. Hello, this is my next piece, and it is a Lane Cedar chest, which I did purchase off of Facebook Marketplace for $75. It really is in pretty good shape on the inside, all cedar lined. I would say maybe it's pushing somewhere between 15 and 20 years old. I'm not exactly sure. I've seen some other new ones like redone for sale for a couple $100. So I'm gonna alter this one, and I don't feel too bad about doing it. The top has a rip in it, so I have some pretty cool material. I'm gonna have to redo the top, and then we have our basic scuffs and scratches. And on the inside, I'm gonna open up the lid here. The inside's pretty darn good. In fact, the lock and key is still in the original little bag stapled to the lid, and on the inside she's pretty clean. There are some areas that I'm going to have to go ahead and try to sand off, and some scratches, and I'm going to get those all off. And then I did get some cedar oil, so I'm going to refresh the cedar and we're going to go from there. Now this piece is going to be part of a challenge. This is put on by my friend Krystal from the Kraftey Kreech, and it is co-hosted by the Colored Caboose, and it had to be revolved around something with pets or pet related. Well, I have my dog, but she's so spoiled. She sleeps in my bed and she hogs my chair, and she really is a princess, so she has everything. And the only other thing I have is fish. So I am going to make this fish related, and then maybe I can put it by my fish tank and sit and watch my fish. So let's get to it. I was able to get the top off fairly easy. The screws, some of them were stripped, but that top was just screwed on there, and I just took it off. So it should be a easy upholster, and let's keep on. Here I come with the surfprep sander with 220 sandpaper, and I really only need to just scuff sand this. And I also am taking out any scratches or any gouges that I can get out without disrupting the veneer, because this is veneer. I also did have to do some hand sanding in them kind of tight spots and along those moldings that are put on the front there. This was all of the fill that I had to put in, and I like Gorilla Wood Glue fill is what I used, and got all the gouges and the scratches that were pretty deep. I used Silk All-in-One Mineral Paint by Dixie Belle in the color Deep Sea. It gives me the advantage of having that primer already in there, so that's why I'm not using primer, and it has a built-in top coat. The only thing that I kind of don't like about it when I'm using the dark colors like this one or Anchor, it seems like after it dries and you touch it, you'll leave fingerprints in it. So I like to put clear wax on it. I'm going and starting on the inside here, 220 sandpaper, trying to go ahead and even up the wood and get any of the gouges and scratches out. While I was sanding this, I really was not getting any smell of the cedar at all. So this really needed a drink of some cedar oil, that's for sure. I used all-in-one mineral paint in Oyster on the front panels, and I kind of was hoping that it would be bright white, but in the end, it wasn't. It looked a little yellow casted, and when compared to the material that I had, I wasn't sure if I was really liking it. I taped everything off and went ahead and put some polyacrylic matte all along the tape seam lines so I would get some straight lines. Back with the silk all-in-one in that color deep blue or deep sea. Well, here are the fish that I want to put on the front, and the whiteness on this material is really kind of not looking that great. So I think I'm going to have to go ahead. I found a can of Rustoleum White Linen, and I'm got to repaint it. So much for taping all that, because I skiffed it, of course, so I was hand painting. Well, there the cloth is with that new color. I guess it's okay, but it's still not that bright white like that material. I'm seriously thinking about getting a different type of material, because with the fish on the front, it might be a little bit too busy. Here come the fish. These are all transfers, and cut your transfer out on the way you want to put it on your piece. You're going to lay it in place and then take the little burnishing stick and just keep rubbing on it until it starts coming off. If you are pulling it back and your transfer is still sticking on the paper, just put the paper back down and rub on it some more. I tried to make the fish going in different directions, putting different fish next to each other. It was really quite fun. Here we go. Now the fish are all on, and I have a lot of fishies left for my next project there. Here's my Behr clear wax. I went ahead and put it all over the fish and also the blue color to help so no fingerprints or smudges stay on there. Once you put the wax on, leave it on there for 10-15 minutes and wipe it off. Time for the cedar oil refresh. And this stuff doesn't come out really strong smelling, but after you put it on your wood, and then I went ahead and I closed the lid so it could kind of soak in. The next time I opened up the lid, it was like, wow, this really smells like cedar. But you can tell it really was in great need of a little bit of a drink there. There it is, all finished. Still looking just a little bit oily, but I did close it up and let them oils soak in. Okay, there's the new material. Looks a lot better than the waves now, doesn't it? I don't know what I was thinking. I went ahead and measured this up. I wanted it about 4 inches overlap on each side, so I had to measure that up and then cut it. And I was hoping that I was going to be able to use my big gun, staple gun, but the staples were so big, which you're going to see in my next video what I did. I learned my lesson well. They're too long. If you staple it with that and somebody sits down on it, guess what? So I had to get the hand stapler out, which is hard for me because I can't really squeeze it and hold it down at the same time and get that staple all the way down there. So a lot of times I have to take a little hammer and tap them in. But this material, I said it was going to be easy. This was really thick material, and it had like a vinyl coating on the back, so it's going to hold up well. I kind of do these like a picture frame. I start in the middle on each side and go all the way around, and then I repeat that again and just keep going all the way around until I get it completely tightened. How did I do these corners? That was a tricky one. What I had to do was, you see that end sticking out right there way on the right? I had to put that underneath and then fold the short end side over the top of that. So I kind of had to cut off a piece, almost square at what you're looking at there. If you came straight down from the seam on the other one, and then cut that off, you'd almost get like a little triangular end. I put that underneath and then pulled the short side over the top. And it made a really nice corner. I was really pleased with it. I thought I was going to have a harder time with that since this material was just really, really hardy. This is what the back looked like after I was done harpooning it all over and trying to pull it as tight as I could. I needed to make a support to hold the lid while I screwed at least one screw in to get it lined up. So this was how I did it, a table and a case. And once I got that middle one in, I was good to go. I did use some Gorilla Glue on these screws because, like I said, some of them were stripped. And I just wanted to make sure that they're going to stay in good. After I initially got that first screw in there, believe it or not, they all lined up. I didn't have a problem and they went right in. I got lucky. Well, remember my starting piece? And this is where we are now. you've made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe. Also, hit that little bell so you will be notified when I have a new video up. I don't have a set day or time for that because of what's going on in my life right now. Most of you know that my mother-in-law, who is on hospice, is still in our home, and also that I have lupus Sjogren's syndrome and rheumatoid arthritis. So I do get some down days where really I can't do anything. I'm pretty wore out. So the next thing I want to mention is, here's my next piece. This one will probably be up the second week in August, which is another challenge. I like to do challenges. They're fun. You get to see what all the other furniture artists make, and it's a great learning experience. I will have the link to this challenge down in the description, and this one was put on by Krystal from the Kraftey Kreech and co-hosted by the Colored Caboose, which was the theme of something pet related. My next video will be up July 15th, and that is another challenge. That one is being put on by Lel from Made by Marley, and also Levon from La Vintage Decor, with the theme being maximalist, and I really had a great time with that. It was a lot of fun. My craft room, it is almost complete. 2 weeks turned into 2 months. I think we're well beyond that now, but it had a whole revamp, including walls, floors, so it really did need it, and I should be having a video soon about that because that's pretty much wrapped up. I'm just putting my things away. I think that probably took a lot longer than anything to get everything reorganized where it needed to go so I can find my work tools. Remember when I told you I went to shopping instead of eating because I had gained 15 pounds? Well, I did get my bill for my shopping, and that's not good either. So I had to go ahead and try another diet. My friend helped me get into this diet program, and I should know better. I'm a nurse, but I seem to do this emotional eating at night for things to help make me feel better, and really in the long run that doesn't make me feel better. So in 5 weeks the 15 pounds is gone, so I'm back at 140. I'm going to see if I can maybe go 5 pounds lighter, and that's probably going to be the limit for me. But it also, this diet has instilled some good snacks and different things for me to eat to help so I don't do that chocolate craving and crazy sugar rummage at the end of the night, which just really is not a good thing for people that have inflammation. So along the way, I will keep you guys posted on that, and if you want to know a little bit more about that diet, you can always contact me and I can give you a heads up on what I did. So until the next time, enjoy your summer.